I once heard that people believe in ghosts because we want to think that memories are powerful enough to leave a lasting impression on a place. That we, in essence, create our own demons. The medium developed by the Bloober team is a psychological third-person horror game that aims to explore the world of the supernatural and the bridge that connects them. You play as Marianne, a clairvoyant whose supernatural powers gives her the ability to bridge between reality and that of the spirit world, serving as a medium for the spirits caught in them. Throughout the game, you explore the depths of said powers and work to solve a mystery of an abandoned resort and the stories that lie within it. At a deeper level, the psychological horror game explores the demons we create in our anger, sadness, and grief and how they manifest. Doing so in an interesting art style inspired by Polish artist and a third-person gameplay that serves as an ode to many classic horror games. The medium is a cross between walking simulator meets puzzle solving, straying away from the standard idea of gameplay in favor of that of narrative. While it certainly won't be for everyone, the medium is filled with scenic level designs, dark themes, and classic horror movie tropes. A game that forces story to eclipse that of gameplay and almost serves as a movie that you get to interact with. My name is Adrian for Digital Dojos, and this is my review of the medium.
I used to think everyone saw the world the way I did. Divided, torn between two realities. But no, I was the only one.
The medium currently retails at $50 and is available for both the PC and exclusively for the Xbox Series X and S at launch, being released on that of Game Pass at the current moment of this review. This review is conducted on that of a Series X. Spoiler alert, if you haven't played the medium yet, this will reveal minor plot holes in order to paint the overall story, however it won't reveal anything major. The medium takes place in post-communism Poland set in the 1990s. You play as a young woman named Marianne, whose opening line sets a story.
It all starts with a dead girl.
Putting you immediately in the character's narration and retelling of the events that have unfolded. The story plays out in a linear fashion. You're tasked with picking up the pieces as you go, and you quickly learn from the beginning that Marianne, an orphan, as adopted father Jack has recently passed away. You're tasked with making the final preparations in both the real world as well as that of the spirit. It's in this encounter you realize your title as a medium, helping those lost souls cross over, this time just a little closer to home. As events unfold and Marianne says her goodbyes, it allows you to get your first experience with the split-view gameplay that the medium uses frequently. Things quickly escalate as you get an unknown call from a man named Thomas, imploring you to come to the Neva Resort to find answers to your past.
Marianne.
Who is this?
You don't know me, Marianne.
You arrive to the Neva Resort, an old dilapidated grounds that used to serve as a government-ran vacation resort, whose closure is shrouded in mystery as its inhabitants all but disappeared in what's known as the Neva Massacre. You arrive with one goal in mind of finding the man known as Thomas, quickly unraveling the ground's mysteries and the characters you meet along the way. This sets the main plot line. The medium takes a non-conventional route of gameplay in which your only real mechanics, so to speak, involve you playing the role of a detective, examining items, finding clues, and a light burst effect that you use in various moments throughout the game. This ability that you unlock early on is used to power generators, clear certain paths, protect you, and even stun enemies. Speaking of enemies, they make up the bulk, albeit very small amount of combat that you get in the game, and even then the combat is far and few between. Again, following this path of which you simply need to survive to win for most encounters. The detective/puzzle solving style of gameplay, however, is strengthened by the split view of the worlds you interact with in the medium. Throughout the game, you're exposed to both the material or real world and the spirit world at the same time, existing in both planes that offer different environments and obstacles, forcing the player to clear up certain obstacles to further advance in each world. A good example of this would be in certain instances, there will be a clear path in one side of your view, whereas, for example, in the spirit world, you may have a door blocking or an obstacle blocking your way, forcing you to either clear, find a way around, or do something in one plane to affect the other. This is where the game offers what's called a quote-unquote out-of-body experience, to focus on one view in order to solve the puzzle at hand for certain tasks. Given that the majority of the game is spent as a walking simulator, I'll say that the movement While great had its moments, certain mechanics such as walking along the ledges caused the controller to vibrate constantly and was unnecessarily slow with no real consequences to it, where on the other hand walking on planks later in the game required balance and had actual consequences. The lack of consistency here was noted, but not game breaking. And there are multiple moments like this where there are obstacles of speed or stealth elements added throughout a level to give you that heightened sense of fear, whereas other times I feel as if they were just added to be added. Throughout the medium, you'll solve several puzzles, all of which aren't all that tricky, but do keep you busy, following the standards of find a hidden item, do a sequence in a specific order, run between this room and that, and so on. All while sprinkling in a little bit of mixture of stealth, anxiety-inducing chase scenes, and other small side stories, all of which contribute to the overall plot. The true quote-unquote gameplay here lies in the story, making you feel as if you're along for the journey with the main character as everyone around her seems to know what's going on, well, except for her. The dark environments and the underworld add to the overall gameplay, making you feel truly alone in this abandoned resort, both in reality and the twisted underworld. A big part of this game revolves around you interacting with those objects to piece together the narratives of the characters that make up the Neva Resort. Through audio snippets, drawings, and other collectibles, you not only paint a picture of the characters and their backstory, but you use this story as a mechanic to fuel objectives in the game, such as generating that spirit energy we talked about, which helps you in various situations. While the graphics and spaces do add to the overall feel, the medium split-screen style of gameplay does come at a cost, often introducing texture pops and random glitches throughout my gameplay on my Series X, unfortunately causing me at times to be taken out of the story. Medium sets its tones not just in its level designs, but most importantly, how the game forces you to play through it, opting for a forced camera view that serves as a cinematic experience, forcing your perspective to add to the sense of the unknown horror and fear, therein framing your every move. The gameplay here isn't for everyone. If you need to interact with your game beyond a surface level and need more than simply running around and piecing clues together, then this isn't for you. However, for those who enjoy narrative and a good story, then the medium certainly achieves that despite all its glitches. The medium puts you in the shoes of someone whose abilities allows them to exist within two worlds. The game itself achieves the same effect by offering you an interactive game while also simultaneously being a story/movie playing out in front of you over your 8 to 10 hours of gameplay, focusing more on storytelling and world building than actual gaming mechanics. From a story standpoint, the game executes this perfectly at putting you in the shoes of not just the main character, but the supporting cast who really tie it all in. Through postcards, echo audio snippets, and more, telling you their hardships and life stories that have made them and who they are, doing a great job of progressing the story and the characters' backgrounds as you go along, from Marianne to Sadness to Thomas and many other of the characters involved throughout. On the gameplay side of things, the medium offers some creative puzzle dynamics that force you to literally split your time in both the material and spirit world to accomplish tasks, crafting a dark and haunted atmosphere perfectly in both its eerie isolated environments to its chilling spirit world designs. Though the duality comes at a cost, unfortunately for a next generation title, it's sad to see such sporadic glitches that can often break the immersion, but nonetheless, the medium does succeed in still telling the overall story that tackles serious real-world topics such as abuse, trauma, and the repercussions that it has on the people's lives who survive it. The ghosts or villains in this game being nothing but a manifestation of the real-world counterparts. It achieves all of this in its powerful storytelling and its crafting of perspectives, showing you two sides of the coin in each situation, allowing you not just to draw your own interpretation, but therein realize that someone can do something wrong or do something bad, and you can sympathize with their past while still acknowledging the bad that they've done. The game's unique art style, gameplay, or lack thereof is made up by its overall narrative. The dark world and the memories that surround it, and the forced camera perspectives that put you simultaneously in the driver's seat as well as the victim into what's to come. For those of you who may be too afraid to play such titles, I would say the medium walks the border really well, where the story has elements of course horror in it, but there's nothing overtly scary about the gameplay. All in all, for anyone who loves a great mystery/horror puzzle game with emphasis on story, the medium is at least worth a playthrough. For those familiar with the style of game and similar titles, it'll be worth the time you put into it. Whereas those who are walking into this blindly or need that high level of interactiveness in their game, from shooting the bad guy to multiple moves and mechanics, well, this won't quite be your tempo. Notably right now, since it's available for Game Pass subscribers, I'd say it's worth trying out even if you won't necessarily get multiple playthroughs of it due to its lack of difficulty settings, alternative routes, and so on. The game, like any decent movie, leaves you asking more questions after its end. Love it, hate it, confused by it, that despite solving all the riddles and puzzles and what have you, you're yearning for more. Reminding us at the root of it all, we create our own demons.
It all starts with a dead girl.
Hey ladies and gentlemen, I hope you enjoyed that review of the medium. I had a really great time playing through the game as well as making the overall review. I've been playing a lot of video games as of late, and it's one of my favorite pastimes, as well as, all pun intended, mediums in which creative expression and outlets can be crafted, these stories. So I'm looking forward to hopefully bringing more video game based content as a subgenre of the technology content to this channel. So look forward to that. And with that, I want to thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed this review, be sure to hit that thumbs up button. Consider subscribing for more technology related content. And as always, ladies and gentlemen, thanks a lot for watching.